Have you ever seen the movie Gidget? There is a good chance you haven't, and that you won't. So let us tell you about it, because without Gidget, surfing wouldn't be what it is today. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. Oh, Gidget. There's surf culture pre-Gidget and post-Gidget. According to Los Angeles Magazine, it was Gidget, along with the Beach Boys, who gave surfing its most memorable turn in the Great American Youth Culture Parade. The girl who inspired Gidget used to babysit my neighbor, Madeline. That was Kathy Kohner, who grew up in Brentwood, LA, and learned to surf in Malibu in the 1950s. Imagine, one day you're a 5', 95-pound teenager, the next, a surfing icon with a book, a movie, a TV series, even a comic dedicated to your adventures. How did this even happen? Kathy was the daughter of Frederick Kohner, a screenwriter and playwright who, along with his wife, fled the Second World War and settled in LA, where Kathy was born in 1941. When she was 15, she started learning to surf in Malibu during the summer of 1956. She'd hang out with local surfers like Terry Choopsteak Tracy, Malibu's royal clown, who lived on the beach and inspired the character of the Big Kahuna. That summer, Kathy spent her days learning to surf, delivering homemade sandwiches to the Malibu pit crew, and being the group's mascot, nicknamed Gidget, a mashup of girl and midget, because she was so small. Then she'd run home and tell her parents all the surf stories, eventually deciding that there should be a book about them. So her dad wrote it in 1957 in just 6 weeks. Wow, what a parent! In the book, Kathy becomes Francine, who loves surfing, and a surfer boy named Moondoggy. According to the Encyclopedia of Surfing, because we haven't read it ourselves yet, the book is both funnier and darker than the like-titled movies and television shows that followed. The surfers talk dirtier, and the tedium and peril of 50s suburban living are rendered as vividly as the easygoing good times. Pretty incredible considering Kathy's dad was a 51-year-old non-surfer who only learned English in his 20s. Here's what you can expect from the book. Every day, someone else let me have a board to practice. On Don Pepe's board, I learned how to keep in the center and paddle evenly. On Hot Shots Harrison's, how to control the direction you're taking with your feet. On Malibu's Max, how to get out of a boneyard when you're caught in the middle of a set of breakers. And on Scooter Boy Miller's Hot Rod, I learned how to avoid a pearl dive. The Great Kahuna showed me how to push the shoulders up and slide the body back, to spring to your feet quickly, putting them under you in one motion. That's quite tricky. But then, surf riding is not playing Monopoly, and the more I got the knack of it, the more I was crazy about it. And the more I was crazy about it, the harder I worked at it. The book, obviously, was a bestseller, with 500,000 copies sold, so no wonder a movie followed. Kathy's dad was hired by Columbia Pictures to write the script. The first ever Hollywood surf movie, Gidget, starring Sandra Dee, James Darren, and Cliff Robertson as the Big Kahuna. It came out in 1959 and started the craze for so-called beach movies. The story follows 16-year-old Francie Gidget Lawrence, that's Sandra Dee, spending her summer at the beach, feeling a bit out of place among her girlfriends who are manhunting and living the typical teenage scene. She becomes fascinated by a group of male surfers, particularly Moondoggie. Encouraged and somewhat teased by them, she buys a surfboard, learns to paddle, learns to surf, and eventually becomes part of the surf crew, gaining the nickname Gidget. Along the way, there are romantic triangles, a slightly older surf mentor figure, that's the big kahuna, questions of identity, family expectations, and teenage rebellion, though in a lighter 1950s-style teen comedy romance mode. Fun! The movie wasn't actually filmed in Malibu, which was already overrun by surfers, but at Leo Carrillo Beach. And it featured Mickey Munoz in a blonde wig and bikini doubling for Sandra Dee. Reviews were mixed to positive, but audiences loved it. Then came Beach Party, the first in a series of Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello beach movies. The Gidget Goes Hawaiian, that's the book, another movie, and a slew of other Gidget adventures. She goes to Rome, Paris, and New York. I think she gets married, too. Finally, Gidget, the TV show starring young Sally Field. You can watch it on Tubi. Needless to say, Gidget's story resonated. It had a huge impact on surf culture, women's surfing, and the surf industry in general, because surfboard sales skyrocketed, obviously. We'll do another episode on the Malibu crew of the 1950s soon, because their story is extremely rich. For now, if you want to read Gidget, you can get it on Kindle for $4.99. It's a 2001 edition with a foreword by Kathy. Or you can stream the movie for $3.99. And that's all for today. Check out the Wipe Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipe Weekly.